It's 9 in the morning. Meeting is now in session. I'd like to go ahead and lead with an invocation. Irene, if you would please lead us, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Oh God, be with us in our discussions and guide our decisions, so we always do what is right and just and serve fairly those who rely on us. May our service bring you glory, you who are our loving God and merciful Lord, now and forever. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Norman, take the pledge, please. I pledge the flag of the allegiance to Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Thank you very much. Irene, would you please call for oath?
Yes, sir. Jerry Garcia,
Yes, ma'am.
Luis Elizondo, Leo Gonzalez,
Here.
Devin Bacta,
Here.
Deanna Hamlin, Caitlin Chu, Gabriela Hillholm, Susie Sullivan, Kevin Kishnick, Ramiro Canales, Leticia Roberts, Melissa Vela, and Terry Noack. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'd like to, do we have anyone sign in for public comment, Irene?
No, sir.
All right. Now we will go ahead and we're gonna go a little bit over the agenda. We're gonna do a little hit and run. So our first item on the agenda is going to be item number 8, discussion or action to approve exercise of 2-year option term to Frost National Bank Depository Banking Services contract. Elias?
It's just a renewal for the next 2-year term. Their performance has been good. We're asking you to let us extend for another 2 years with the same bank. They were the only bidder last time. We're happy with them.
And everything's good, and we're getting a good yield comparatively speaking, are we not?
We don't really get too much out of the bank because we keep it all over in Tex Pool. The
Oh,
bank
that's
rates are a
right,
little
I'm
lower.
sorry, yeah, you're right. Textpool is where we get the bigger bang for the dollar.
Mhm. At this time, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any discussion for Elias at this point? Any questions?
Motion to accept?
There's a motion by Kevin to accept the report and the term. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Leo seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Item number 9, discussion or action to approve exercise of 1-year option term to A plus janitorial and mowing services custodial contract. Elias.
We've had them since 2021. Their performance is satisfactory. There's been some bumps here and there, but otherwise they've done pretty good. We put it out for a 3-year contract and then 2 1-year option periods. We're asking for your approval for us to exercise the first option year.
So the first option is the 2-year option,
It's a 1-year
a
on this
1-year
contract.
option. Okay. And why is their service only satisfactory, Elias?
It's, we got off to a bumpy start, and I don't know how much of that was pandemic and how much of it was just, I don't know, it's weird. It's like out of, say, 100 things, they do 95% of them right, and then the other 5, it's hit and miss, and I have to keep going after them and all of that. Lately, they've been pretty good.
So we're okay?
I think so.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Leo makes a motion to approve the 1-year contract. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Seconded by Deanne. Any further discussion? All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much for the motions. All right, item number 12 now. Discussion or action to approve updated order and notice of general election for the May 4th, 2024 election of Appraisal District Board of Directors. Now, Elias, if you could please enlighten us.
Okay, so back in February, this board passed, for the upcoming elections, you passed you approved an order to order the election and a notice to the public about the election, giving away locations and dates and all of that. And since that time, the locations have changed, and they are listed on one of the documents for both days, for both periods, and the other document for just the early election. So since those locations changed, Belinda checked with the Secretary of State, and they advised that it has to go back through the board as a revised order and a revised notice. And so what we'll do is, after all of this, if you approve it, it's in tab 12 of your packets. If you approve it, which I can't see why you wouldn't, then we will circulate it around for as many signatures as we can. The order needs as many signatures of this body as we can get. The notice is signed only by the chair. We can circulate it after.
But we need to get this ASAP so we can get it out to the public, is that not correct?
Yes, plus this is the version of the notice that's going to be published in the newspaper.
Okay, all right. Does everyone understand that? May I have a motion to approve it, please?
So moved.
Kevin makes a motion. Is there a second? Caitlin seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Yes, sir.
If you could please go back to number 6, that's also an action item. I forgot about it.
Okay. You didn't mention that earlier.
I
Bryce.
didn't. I forgot about it.
Okay, item number 6 is discussion or action consent agenda. Now, we have, under this number, we have A, approval of the February 14, 2024 regular meeting minutes. B, approval of the January-March 2024 disbursements. Receipt of the April 2024 litigation report. Fund financial statement as of December 31st, 2023. Fund financial statement as of March 31st, 2024. And section 25.25B, correction of appraisal roll notice, first quarter. Does anyone want to bring any item out of this agenda and we can talk about it? If not, I'll have a motion to approve this as presented to us.
Make the motion.
Deanna makes that motion. Thank you, ma'am. A second, please.
I'll second it.
Leo seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Do you have something to say, Devin?
Oh, no.
No? Oh, no, Devin, not Kevin.
No, you looked at me, so I was going,
Yeah, because the picture's behind you. One of you has hair and the other one doesn't. Okay, all in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, now, please bear with me for just 1 second. Thank you, sir. What do you want me to, anywhere? Here. Jerry's.
Just figured it out.
Sign this, please.
Yeah.
Nueces. Just Jerry's signature on this one.
Depends on which one it is.
This is the only one that I signed on this one.
Yes.
Okay, and I sent them the email.
Oh, no, I think that was, Irene, do you get this?
So, yes.
You get this?
So I guess that was sufficient.
Yeah, I can get it to mine.
Okay.
They all sign. I think so.
Great, thank you, guys.
We send it back for that.
Got it, thank you. Is everything signed off on, Irene?
What?
Caitlin and Kevin signed it?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Deanna.
Deanne, everybody signed
We
it,
did.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Everything's done.
At this point then, we're going to go ahead and skip around again and go into executive session. And public notice is given that the Board of Directors may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere on the agenda when authorized by the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Should the Board of Directors elect to go into executive session, the section or sections of the Open Meetings Act authorizing the executive session will be publicly announced by the presiding officer. Upon completion of executive session, the Board of Directors may take such action as appropriate in open session. Item number A, discuss Nueces County Appraisal District cybersecurity assessments and related matters. Item number B, consult with legal counsel regarding Valero litigation and related matters, 551.071, and the previous item was 551.089. At that, we will go ahead and go into executive
That's
session.
just the default, yeah.
We're on. Okay. Let's move on to item number 10. Discussion and receipt of notice of invalid findings related to 2022 property value study.
Lady?
Okay, so on the 22 PBS, there was one last district that was still appealing, and that was the Flower Bluff, and they went to a SOA hearing, and they found that it was still invalid. So this is just a report letting the board know that Flower Bluff ISD was found invalid.
Okay. Is that the only one, Letty?
That was the last one for
Because
22.
Peloso Midway came up to bat. Everything is good with Cal Island, TM, Robstown.
For 22, there was only 3 that were invalid, which was Toloso, Port Aransas, and Flower Bluff. There was another one, but
Robstown.
the hearing did pass. They did found invalid.
Okay.
For 23, all of them passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions for Letty?
The only question I have is was there a particular value class that's really pushing that over there in Flower Bluff, or is it just?
It's all,
Which category? Yeah, because there's kind of a big push right now to address the PBS in the next legislative session. It's starting to get a little traction, but they're still waiting until after the primary. So I was just curious if there's.
Well, the best thing that they can do, and I think it would help throughout the state, all appraisal districts, is that instead of for them continuing their process to the month of August, August or September, that it stops at least in the month of April. See, we stop in the month of March to get all the reappraisal notices to put out in the mail. See, meantime, though, they're going all the way into August to look at the sales, and then they'll time back on that, and that's what hurts.
So they're stopping at different
Yes.
points, and that's causing
So
that's
and
causing.
we can't get together on the time, or they can't get together on the timing, is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
That would be the best thing for them to do, because a lot of the districts here locally that got hit several years ago was because of that.
Well, what about too on the challenges when they go to the ARB and the ARB brings those values down? That doesn't affect. That's kind of the other piece of the puzzle of this, of how the comptroller's numbers still stand at the high number, even though
Right.
the ARBs have said no, these are too high, and you get this amount that brings down, and then it dings the appraisal district.
Right.
Is that a safe assumption? Is that still what's?
sometimes those are thrown out, just
Yeah.
depends
Okay.
on if we have a determining order and what the determining order said. So they will look at it, and the comptroller makes a determination whether it gets thrown out or not.
Okay.
So, you know,
See, the other thing too that's coming down the pike, it's gonna be the appointment of ARB board members. And that appointment process will start with the new board of directors. In order for them to control numbers, they could probably control an ARB board member to do what needs to get done without us having to have any input in that. That's the other thing with the elected board of director, that we are still looking to see what's your worst case scenario when bringing in your board of directors.
Yeah.
What kind of an agenda they could have or not have,
Yeah.
you know. And of course, you're looking at big money here.
But that elected board, or this board as a general, even though they appoint those members, they shouldn't be getting involved in these valuation issues, but doesn't mean that they won't. It just,
You know that story.
yeah, I know. I know.
Okay, anything else? Anything else? All right. Number 11, please, discussion of upcoming appraisal district board of directors election and process. Ronnie?
Elias, go ahead.
Okay, but first, did we ever do number 7,
Oh,
TLO report?
number 7, but Terry's not here.
Right, she's not here. She asked if we would just tell people that it's in the packet on tab 7. And it's the regular report, no complaints or anything like that, but that the model procedures that were adopted by the ARB and approved by the comptroller, a copy of those protest procedures are in that tab, just for your information. And then you can ask her whatever questions at the next meeting.
Yeah, let's just leave that. Quite frankly, I have not had an opportunity to read all of this, and when, maybe before next meeting, I'll be completely bored and be able to read this. But it's really quite lengthy if you look at the report, but if we have an opportunity, let's go ahead and read this, because Terry has worked diligently on this, and maybe we can go ahead and, if anyone has any questions, I know she'll be able to answer. So let's just go ahead and postpone this, Elias, and
Okay.
advise Terry that we'll discuss it next meeting, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Is that a motion to table, Chair?
Yes, let's go ahead. Well, I can't make a motion. Can I have a motion to table this until next meeting?
Motion to table.
Kevin makes that motion. All in favor, a second on that motion, please. Caitlin seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye. Opposed? Thank you, ma'am. Let the record show it passes unanimously. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to item number 11.
Okay, item number 11 is on tab 11.
Yes, sir.
And there was general discussion back in February about where are we in this overall new election process and all of that, and there was, some people wanted more details than others. So we put together something broad blush here on tab 11 that kind of gives you a sense of the big roadmap through the whole process. Lots of little details underlying a lot of these, but this gives you a sense of how the whole thing works from beginning to end as best we understand it at this time. So candidates apply for a place on the ballot. It kind of flows. There's a certain logic to it. The board orders the election. That's the second thing, which you've done, and then we're revising it today. And then there's a notice requirement and all of that that underlies it. And then there's a lot of election preparations that take place, mostly carried by, because you guys all approved a contract with the elections office. They're carrying a lot of the load on that. Testing equipment, hiring judges for the location center, for the voting locations, getting staffing, equipment, testing, all of that is going on right now. May 4th, that's number 5, May 4th, there will be the general election. Our 3 board members will be on, or our candidates will be on that ballot. Then afterwards, there'll be a canvassing of results done by you all. And it depends on when we get those results. We will be moving the May meeting around, heads up on that, to accommodate that rather than have 2 separate meetings. Anyway, if necessary, which we think it's likely, there'll be a June 15th runoff election, and then you'll canvass those results. And then the new board members will assume duties on or after July the 1st.
On the runoff, what creates the runoff, Elias?
If they don't achieve 50% of the vote, if no individual candidate achieves 50%, because they're running separately by place.
And every place has at least 3 people? Okay.
There's 4, 3, and 4.
11 total.
Mhm. So if at least one of those doesn't achieve 50%,
Right.
we're in the runoff.
Right.
Okay, and then you'll canvass that.
50.1, yeah,
So,
Just to clarify, it's over 50%.
50.
oh, over 50,
Yes.
okay, so,
Like 50.01.
yeah, 50.0001 or something, okay, so over 50. All right, and I think that's it, that's just broad blush. There's tons and tons of tasks and details and notices and, you know, all of that, but this is, I think, will give you what you need.
Okay. Thank you, Elias.
Elias, have the candidates been told what they need to do as far as their financial reporting?
I'm sorry, what?
Have the candidates been notified about what they need to do for their financial reporting?
Twice.
Twice, okay, good deal.
Anything else?
There's also, just a reminder, there's also, I think, a notice has to be done, I think, is it 5 days before the election? There's a final, or, I forget, I haven't had to run in a while.
Financial
8 days,
report?
But I
yeah.
think the county does that, don't they,
No,
Elias?
no, it's the appraisal
Maybe I
district.
thought it-
I'm not sure what the question is, I can't hear.
It's the notice, it probably need to send the
So-
reminders out of what their next campaign finance reporting is.
The 8 days before the
Yeah,
election?
8 days, yeah.
Mhm.
And just to clarify, Kevin, we did get the calendar from the Texas Ethics
Good.
Commission, and Elias did send that to all the
Perfect.
candidates.
Good deal,
Thank you.
thanks.
We're trying to, let me just make kind of a note on that. We're trying to be as neutral as possible and fair as possible to all the candidates. So we're not like putting campaign materials for one candidate on our website, but not the others. You
I
know,
wouldn't put any of it on there.
that's exactly
Yeah.
the position we're taking.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we're also trying to do is not give the perception that we're trying to help them run their campaigns, you know?
Yeah, it's just because when I ran for the city and also the county clerk, they send out notifications when you're supposed to, or reminders of you're supposed to turn in by X date. So that's just, it's kind of a courtesy item, but it's something I'd recommend doing.
And we have done that with that particular item.
Good.
We've done that, but it's very clinical. It's to all.
Yeah, it goes to
Yeah.
all, you don't pick and choose. You,
Right.
Everybody who's running should get the notification.
Mhm.
Whether they choose to read it and follow it, that's their choice.
Good
Okay.
point, thank you, Kev. Anything else? All right, let's move on. And on item number 14, there was no action items or action rather related to the executive session. And now number 15, Ronnie?
A couple of things. The appraisal notices, reappraisal notices are going out, hopefully on Friday, the 12th. And with that, I think it's gonna be about 130,000 homesteaded reappraisal notices going out. And that'll go through April into May. Then the non-homesteaded properties will finish out the rest of the month of May.
And Paul's still checking, or rather, they're still doing the non-homestead and the homestead, all that issue?
We have, yes.
Yes, okay.
It's in the process. The other thing too is that right now we're doing the financial audit. It's underway. And then an update on the conference that we went to. I think that we're pretty much ahead of what most other appraisal districts had been doing, whether it be the election process or the board of directors process and things like that. I think some of our board members that went, I think we're enlightened as to the fact that the Nueces County Appraisal District is pretty much ahead of a lot of the other districts. We tried.
Pardon me for interrupting you, but I've got to bring this in right now.
Oh, shit.
At the conference meeting, Ronnie stood up like a
I know.
anti-rooster all the time about how great we're doing. And let me tell you something. I was, as a director, I was very, very pleased with our position in the state. And I mentioned to Neil and Elias that when Ronnie would get up and talk about our IT and our HR and our accounting, I was sitting with other directors and other chief appraisers from other counties, and they were like, man, I wish that we were there. That's exactly their words. And they had the same leeway that we did. But we're head and shoulders above everyone else. In spite of Ronnie Canales, we're head and shoulders in front of everyone else. And I'm very, very proud of staff, Ronnie, our legal system, everybody, just nothing but great accolades. Thank you very much, folks. I'm sorry, Ronnie, go ahead.
No, other than that, I've thanked the staff over time since I've been here, and it continues. They do an excellent job. Since we got in our legal in-house counsel, they have also done an excellent job to do what we do here. It's expedited a lot of our lawsuits over time. It saved us a lot of money, a lot of time. I think the department heads are very, very good with what we're doing here. So I just want to say thank you to the staff. And if you guys know what we do here, starting this week, this month, we're going to get a lot of people come through that door. Last year we saw close to 40,000 people protests. We're also going to start our satellite, not our satellite, but yeah, our 3 Saturdays in a row. Port Aransas, Robstown, and Flower Bluff. We'll be there 3 Saturdays in a row. I forgot the dates, but it's this month. I think April 21st.
The 20th, the 27th, and then you skip one, and then you go
Right.
to the 4th, May 4th.
And it's all coordinated because there's a lot of activity during the summer.
Oh, 11th,
20th,
yeah.
27th,
It's
and
11th.
11th.
Yeah, because the beach to bay also is out there, so we kind of go around it before we mess with all the traffic that we have to be out. But for right now, yes, we foresee a lot of new taxpayers coming in to protest properties. There has been a lot of growth again. It continues. The economy is very good here in Nueces County. So Devin is doing a good job across the street. The noise is not as loud as it used to be. Thank you, Devin. But anyway, if y'all have any questions, please let me know.
Any questions for Ronnie? Seeing none, let's move on to item number 16, Ronnie.
16.
suggested items for next regular meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone have anything that what they would like to put on the agenda for the next meeting we have? Susie, Deanna, Leo, Kev, Caitlin? Not me either. I think that we're pretty much above board. I do not know when our next board meeting is scheduled for. Do we have a date yet, Elias, or?
It depends on when we get the results from the election.
From the
So it's supposed to, normally it would be May 8th.
8th.
It may be the 15th.
Okay, so we'll find out. Of course, everyone will be kept abreast. And with that, I'll go ahead. Oh, and before I accept the motion to adjourn, I'd like to congratulate our almost newlywed, and congratulations. And I'll go ahead now and accept the motion to not do it. No, I'll have a motion to adjourn. Caitlin moves, Leo seconds. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate it.